Hey everyone, I have a couple of announcements to make. The war on Euclid turned NoMansSky upside down for me. It exposed some things and brought tensions in places I did not expect. I've got a lot to tell you. GoodGuysFree here, so let's get started. I got dragged into this war. It's kind of funny, I made so many mistakes getting dragged into this war, and NoMansSky is really not a game of war, really. So I honestly don't know what came over me to participate. I even asked Professor Cynical why he didn't try to coordinate with me. After we had done the April Fool's joke thing, I think it was clear to him that had he tried to coordinate such a thing with me, I would have found a way to go along with this. Maybe. For example, I hated the fact that they were calling for renaming the systems with SYN, or for RSE for that matter, but it took me a while, like 24 hours, to figure out that I need to come out against doing that, because that's kind of littering. Another thing that is a real problem is the fact that whoever feels the need to play PvP needs to get the rules of engagement fixed early on, and we didn't do that. And on the whole, we had the Euclid Allied Coalition, which got started and tried to rally, so to speak, the various factions that go against SYN. And I was torn between my desire to participate in the sense that there's something nice about doing this, a real reason to do some PvP battles. And I'm not talking about all the trolls and everything and the rules of engagement that weren't set up properly ahead of time. I think the one thing that surprised me is the level of emotion that came out of some people on my server, some staff who actually hated the idea of even answering Cynical's call. And I get that. I actually received a direct message from Bubutki. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. The basics of what was in that message was that they are the Brood Crew and that they are reaching out a hand in peace and asking me to join them and the Cynical militia to conquer the galaxy. And I told him that if Cynical wanted me to join him, he would have contacted me directly. I had absolutely no doubt that the message will pass to Cynical. And indeed, Cynical contacted me a few hours later, basically saying the same thing, that together we can do a lot, we can conquer the galaxy. And I'll say this to you, Cynical, directly, but I cannot join you. I cannot join you because of several things. The first and foremost is the fact that I'm not the one calling the shots in the Knights of New Aleria. I know that sounds weird, but let me say it the way I told it to the guys themselves. I did not have the time to go in-game and play during the same hours that the attacks were happening. Yeah, you're gonna say 12 hours is a long time. Yes, but I have other obligations. Even if you remember Light No Sky, Season 1, Season 2, I had difficulty participating for long periods of time, and in the first one, I also did not participate in the PvP section. Okay, so yeah, we did have PvP battles. We had Cynical saying to his crew, let's go fight and hit a specific system. Now let's get back to the issue of rules of engagement and everything. Like I said, this should have been agreed upon from the start. The fact that it wasn't agreed upon from the start meant that it was too easy for people to come in and do stuff that is unfair. I recently watched a short video that was recorded by Teru278. He was kind of the leader of the group. He did the most work to organize things. He and Rocker drove a lot of the effort of the Knights to fight, to organize, and despite this fact, and despite the fact that I've said that I can't really fight, the Euclid Allied Coalition pretty much ignored him. And I think that the leader, or the person who started the coalition, did this with really, really good intentions, but also did not have enough time contiguously to deal with this, to actually lead, to actually coordinate, to push people in the right direction. I felt that no matter what my response will be to Cynical, at this point the war has deteriorated to the point where we have to say we will not be part of this anymore. And this is the first announcement. there is no proper way to prove that somebody did not use any mod. If I had proof that something like this was happening, I would come out and say, enough. So where do we go from here? I think that we have to take very seriously the strong desire that some people have to play PvP in No Man's Sky. But because we can't prove that people are playing fair, we need to implement certain things to ensure that people are playing fair. I will say this out loud. We have a plan. The GoodGuysFree community and Discord server, we are still working on it, but we have a plan to do community PvP events. These will be isolated in a system of our choosing, and we will guarantee that only people that we actually verify and trust are going to be playing. So there you have it. The Knights of New Alaria will not join the Brood Crew or the Cynical Militia. And Professor Cynical, my friend, I'll say this. When you offered to give me more emphasis or highlight on your channel, getting my channel more views, it struck me that you really don't know me that well. It stands to reason. I don't know you that well either, but anybody who knows me a little bit better knows that I'm not doing this for the views, and I'm not doing this for fame and glory. I know it's pretty old-fashioned, but I'm doing this for the community. And giving the community PvP battles, because some of them really want this, is a wonderful idea. And I thank you for starting this war, kinda. And I thank you for your offer, but I cannot accept it. We've also got plans for other types of events, so subscribe to the channel or join the Discord server for updates. GoodGuysFree here, and I'll see you again soon.